Welcome in the another video on Ulysses, a poem written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. This poem is prescribed in BA Final English Literature and it belongs to Paper 1 Poetry and Drama. I am Dr. Vinita Bhadoria, Associate Professor of English, Government College, Baroda. In the previous video, I have analyzed and explained for you the first three stanzas of the poem. In this video, I am going to discuss the last few stanzas of the poem. There lies the port, the vessel puffs her sail. There gloom the dark, broad seas. My mariners, souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me, that ever with a frolic welcome took the thunder and the sunshine and opposed. Free hearts, free foreheads, you and I are old. Old age hath yet his honour and his toil. Death closes all. But something at the end, some work of noble note, may yet be done, non unbecoming men that strove with gods. The lights begin to twinkle from the rocks, the long day wanes, the slow moon climbs, the deep monas round, with many voices. Come, my friends, it's not too late to seek a newer world. So, Ulysses is going on another voice with his mariners. In this stanza, Ulysses directly addresses his comrades, mariners. He is about to leave his country with his friends, and it is clear from the tone that his friends cannot overcome their fear of leaving the country at this sensitive age because they are in their old age. Ulysses does not want to go alone on the journey. Like before, he needs his friends. He don't want to be isolated. They were always there whenever there was any difficulty for Ulysses. Being a single unit with common heart, they thought and fought the odds together. So he wants them with himself. Ulysses reminds them of their present situation and tells them that being old does not make everything look still. Movement is life. Immovability is death. No matter they are young or old, if they choose to be ashore, they are dead already. If you do not want to move, you are dead already. The poetic persona tells his companions that they have a long way in front of them. Though they are old, but they have to do something notable, something major. He is unaware of the future. He doesn't know about his future, but he and his heart knows it is never too late to seek the newer world. This world is nothing but a metaphorical reference to the vast sea of knowledge. So he wants to gain knowledge, some new knowledge, till his death. He doesn't want to stop at a place immovable. Push off and sitting well in order smite the sounding furrows, for my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset and the paths of all the western stars until I die. It may be that the gulfs will wash us down. It may be we shall touch the happy isle and see the great Achilles, whom we knew. Though much is taken, much abides, and though we are not now that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are one equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. In this stanza, he is trying to encourage his companions, and the section begins with the word push off. So, the mood here is not an idle one. He don't want to sit idle. He rather infuses the energy of his soul in this stanza. They have to overcome. They means the companions of the Ulysses have to overcome their manifold tears to continue this journey of life. The sea is in their blood. Ulysses knows they cannot live without it. He thinks the way in front of them can be perilous. There can be a threat to their lives, but they had overcome all their fears in the past. In the olden days, though they are old, they have strength. In the old days, they are young, their vigor has shaken every kingdom because they are young and they are very strong and they have so much strength. They can move earth and heaven. The repetition of the phrase again we are, in refers to their indomitable courage and force. They are weak and old for the natural process of aging. Nowadays, now they are old, they are not that strong as they in previous time, but they are strong in willpower. Their willpower is still very strong, and at last Ulysses says that they are starting their endless spiritual quest to gain knowledge, to seek something new, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield, not to give up. He wants to know, to get some knowledge, to do research, to find something, but not to stop, not to give up. This poem encompasses many important themes. There are so many themes. The first and foremost theme of the poem is optimism. That in the old days, Ulysses is completely optimist. The poet presents the spirit of hope by using the character of Ulysses. He was old enough for continuing his lifelong voyage, still, he was persistent. For an optimistic attitude towards life, he started for the sea again, for the voyage again. Another important theme of the poem is brotherhood. Ulysses is the greatest example of brotherhood also. He never left his companions, even if they were old and dropping. He injected the power inside their hearts, in them, and harked for a new beginning. He was never lonely on his voyage. He might have left his family behind, but his true family was his companions. They were his soulmates who toiled, wrought, and most importantly, thought with him. Tennyson uses various symbols for referring the great structure. The poet persona uses still hearth and barren crags as a symbol of an idle life. There are two important symbols in the poem. The first one is sea. The sea has a different symbolic meaning. It refers to adventure, mystery, and mobility. Likewise, the poet uses the symbol of Lent to signify the opposites. It depicts love, care, relationship, immovability, and idleness. Such a symbolic use of words in the poem is not appropriate concerning the modern scenario. In the poem, hero belonged to the ancient Greece. The poet also belonged to an age when immovability was compared to death. The sea and the land reflected a similar kind of symbolic meaning in Ulysses' time as well as in the Victorian era. By, dis- by using the words still hearth and barren crags for idleness, Tennyson uses beautifully metaphors, make use of metaphors very beautifully. These two metaphors refer to a single idea of immobility and idleness. In the line that hoard and sleep and feed and know not me is an anticlimax. Here, the ideas get arranged in descending order of importance. It heightens the verbal effect of the speaker on the audience. I will drink life to the lees. Who does not know this line? It is a beautiful example of metaphor. Here, life is compared to water or wine. However, the idea is very simple. The poet, as well as his persona, wants to dive deep into life and drink its essence to the end. There is an antithesis in the phrases in juxtaposition enjoyed greatly and suffered greatly. There is a personal metaphor in the phrase hungry heart. Here, the poet associates desires and spiritual hunger. The poet makes use of sound effects by employing the device called onomatopoeia in the line, far on the ringing plains of windy Troy. There are several epigrams in the poem like to rust unburnished, not to shine in use. Old age hath yet his honor and his toil. These are few lines which describes onomatopoeia. The poet ends his poem with a climax, and the line is also a famous one in English literature. It is to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Tennyson never yielded to the circumstances like Ulysses. This is all in this video. I hope you understand the analysis and explanation of the poem. If you feel any difficulty, feel free to ask me. Thank you very much.